Now, back to the guilt. You know, if you're accusing them of being an alcoholic and they're making promises they'll drink less, well, see, part of the alcoholic's sensitivity is the guilt issue. But a lot of times people don't realize that the alcoholic will make a promise. You need to understand, don't cause him to make promises, because you should be detaching. Because every time he makes a promise because of some kind of movement towards him on your part to cause the drinker to make a promise, the alcoholic has a tremendous guilt. When the alcoholic is under the influence of alcohol, they are basically numbing themselves. The alcohol has an effect on your motor skills, on your thinking skills, and physically, mentally, it has an effect of numbing you. They really don't have any. They may have memory. They may have memory of some of the things they say and do, but they don't really have full understanding of the ramifications of what they're doing. What that means is that they can't really control. They're under the influence. That's why it's called under the influence of alcohol. You know, driving under the influence of alcohol. That means you're not 100% driving. The alcohol is. Okay? So that means that when they start drinking and they say stuff, they're not saying it. They're not 100% saying it. Yeah, it's coming out of their mouth. They're partially saying it. But the alcoholism is saying it. But especially when they're drinking, anything they say or do needs to be viewed by the other person that loves them, that lives with them, as that's the alcoholism that's doing that. So I think that helps people detach, because when he says something to get your goat or whatever, and your mind is saying, okay, that's the alcoholism talking. See, the alcoholism wants to survive at all costs. Look at it like Invasion of the Body Snatchers. You know that movie, Invasion of the Body Snatchers? Look at it like the alcoholism is the body snatcher. And it has gone into his body. And even though it's him, it looks like him, and it sounds like him, and all that, the alcoholism has snatched his mind and body. And so everything he says and does, you need to remember, it's the alcoholism. Now, when you're telling yourself it's the alcoholism and it wants to survive, key point, it wants to survive, because remember, the invasion of the body snatchers, why are they snatching up bodies? Because they want to survive. The being has to survive by taking over the body. So alcoholism wants to survive by taking over the mind and body of the host, which is your drinking spouse. Alright? So, then, knowing this, we can detach. Because why? Because it's the alcoholism that's doing it. So when they say something that's designed to get your goat or offend you and get you the answer, just remember, aha, I got you. It's not my husband. It's the body snatcher, the alcoholism, the mind snatcher. And so now that you know this, you can just, within you, just be at peace and at rest, knowing full well it's just the alcoholism trying to survive. Yeah, and then you could just be at peace. It doesn't matter. That's why it may sound difficult, but this is what needs to be learned about detaching. Is this very abstract concept And everything they say and do while drinking has to be viewed in that sense. And then remembering that this alcoholism gives them a guilty complex, because remember, when they're under the influence of alcoholism, they can't control themselves. It's the alcoholism. So when they make promises when they're not drinking, they're not going to keep them. And you can know that in advance because you know full well that they're being taken over by the body snatcher. You know that they're not going to keep it because there's something else in there. It's the alcoholism.
Such a good way to put it.
Yeah. So what's the point of getting someone to make promises to you knowing this? You see, knowing this information, you can now be a wiser person, a detaching person, a person that has love. But now you know that you're a person that doesn't need to get the alcoholic to make you promises. Now, does that mean that you'll never suffer embarrassment? You'll never suffer anything that is inherently intertwined within your lives, like if he doesn't pay the electric bill? No, it doesn't. That's another conversation.
You mean another video?
Yeah, another video.
All right. Thank you, Frank.
Well, I'm glad to help people, and thanks for coming to the ministry. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.